What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 11 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. Carl, what's going on today, man?
We've got some special stuff planned for this episode, with a lot of the tournaments kind of slowing down because summer's starting and whatnot. We're going to go over some extra teams of the week from our Discord, and we have some new information about the future of what VGC, TCG, and Pokken tournaments are going to look like from Play Pokemon. We're going to go over this afternoon. And then we're going to do a little bit of a team building exercise and talk about how we personally approach team building and just kind of do some fun stuff with that. You want to start with one of these teams? I'll let you pick which of the three we got here.
All right, so I have a Sun team here that was presented to us by...
This one comes to us from... Where is it? I think this one comes to us from Karibo. User Karibo on our Discord. Yep, it's Karibo.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you could find it, because I was not. So we have Focus Sash Ninetales, Shardy Berry G-Max Charizard, which is Rockberry.
Correct.
Okay. Notably, we don't have Life Orb on it, and we actually don't have Life Orb on any of these Mons.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a interesting conclusion there. Wide Lens Venusaur, so you have your solid Sun team there.
Yep.
Rounding it out, we have Gastrodon with a Rindo Berry, we have Eject Button Hitmontop, and we have Wikiberry Umbreon. Wikiberry
that's a new one.
That's a 33% berry, I think?
Yep, it's one of the 33% berries. I believe it's... I don't remember what what natures you can't play with it, but...
Well,
I think it's... Minus special defense is bad? I think.
I think we're plus special defense here. So, Bold is plus defense or special defense?
Bold is plus defense minus attack.
Sure. the defense ones, man, I get real confused on. Careful and Bold are like the two common ones that I know. Because Bold is what you run on Jellicent normally, correct? Or is it Careful?
Bold is usually your bulky water types.
Yeah, there we go.
And Careful is usually Incineroar.
Careful, I know because I had to grind for a Scrafty this week. I had to breed for a Scrafty.
That's another one, yeah. Usually Careful's on your physical attackers that are high special defense, like Incineroar, like Scrafty.
Yeah.
Mimikyu's another one that kind of benefits from a Careful nature sometimes.
I always run Brave on Mimikyu. I run Brave with it also depends on what we're doing with it, but if we're doing like Trick Room things, then I want Brave just so we are slower for Trick Room. If not, Adamant's also fine. I like to run Mimikyu to deal damage. Yeah.
Max speed, benefiting nature, Trick Room, get them.
Yep, just plow through them. It'll be fine.
Yep.
So, interesting notes here. This Ninetales looks like it's trying to deal some actual damage here.
Yeah, this is a damage-dealing Ninetales. This is not a support Ninetales like you're used to seeing. Heat Wave, Dark Pulse, Solar Beam, Protect. They are all out to get you with that Focus Sash.
Yeah, Dark Pulse is not one we normally see, but I really like it here.
I do too. It's... Umbreon is like, you're like thinking like Umbreon, Umbreon's a dark type. We ain't gotta worry about dark coverage, but Umbreon has just like Foul Play and Snarl, which both of those are super situational moves that don't really do a whole lot of damage at all.
Yeah, it does not get real good coverage when it comes to dark moves.
Yeah.
And then Charizard, pretty, outside of not having Life Orb, pretty standard. Heat Wave, Air Slash, Solar Beam, Protect.
Yep, pretty standard.
Max special attack, max speed, just what you would expect.
Yep.
This Umbreon. Let's talk about Umbreon for a second.
Okay. Let's talk about Umbreon then.
So, how much do you actually know about Umbreon?
I know it's supposed to be bulky. That's about the long and short of it. I don't remember what its 130 stat is in. Is it in defense, I'm assuming?
It has 130 special defense and 110 defense.
Okay, so it's the bulky Pokemon. It's the bulky evolution for sure.
Yeah, it is real bulky. So with, if I can get this set correctly. Come on, Showdown, what are we doing?
Not wanting to cooperate.
Not wanting to cooperate, man.
You said it's 110?
Mm-hmm. So with 110, with a positive nature, we get to 143 defense and then 150 defense. And that's, we are max defense too.
Yeah. We are max defense.
So that gets us to just over 200 HP, 178 defense, and 151 special defense. That's a bulky boy.
That is a bulky boy.
And then we have this berry on it. We also have Moonlight here, which I think should probably just be Wish.
Yeah, if we're Sun, that kind of just feels bad, right? Like we're just like,
it feels
Moonlight just
weird. Yeah.
I guess Wish is like you gotta wait a turn and hope you don't die beforehand.
I think if we want Wish, I think instead of Foul Play or Snarl, we want Protect then.
Yeah. Probably could just skip over Foul Play in that case and just run Snarl.
The biggest problem there is then you're really not putting out any damage.
Well, this is more the support stall Pokemon anyway, and you just sit there and snarl. Like that's all you're really after is you're just snarling everything. Whereas with Foul Play, I don't know what we're doing with these 26 attack IVs.
Yeah, that one I don't understand.
Foul Play doesn't use our attack; it uses their attack. So I don't know what we're doing with all these extra IVs, but yeah, I would like Wish and then Protect in one of those spots, maybe probably over Foul Play. Snarl, just being able to spread damage, lower special attacks when we see it, break focus sashes, break disguises, stuff like that. Yeah, because Togekiss is a real problem for this Pokemon if you're trying to use Foul Play as your main attacking damage, because then it's just redirected into a Pokemon that resists it and has almost no attack anyway.
Yeah. Especially, if it's bred correctly where it has that 0 IV, then you're really, really not getting any damage put off.
Exactly. So probably dropping Foul Play for Protect makes the most sense. Keep Snarl as your main source of spread damage. Being able to just lower everyone else's special attack is actually kind of important because we are in a more special attack meta than what we were before. With Lapras, Togekiss, Clefairy's getting popular again, Primarina, Venusaur, Charizard, Gastrodon. Do I need to keep
say
going?
That, man,
Goodra.
You say that, but my Draft League match had, I think, the only special attacker between both of us. I had Ninetales, and Jiggly Dreams had Lapras.
I mean, that's all you need sometimes.
I also made the brilliant big brain play decision to run Moxie on my Scrafty instead of Intimidate, and just immediately punished for it.
Failure.
Was not the best day for Scrafty, I'll put it like that.
Looking over the rest of this team, I like the Hitmontop as our Intimidate user. It's got fighting coverage for us. It has Feint, notably, so we can just get in under Protects.
Feint is a really, really underutilized attack.
We are not very fast on this Hitmontop, though. We are 252 HP, 4 attack, 252 special defense.
Normally I run max attack, but we're not trying to dish out a ton of damage here. Our big attack is close combat, which is whatever. It's good, but it's not the best we need.
And then after that, you're just helping hand bot or feint bot, so you're just like, it makes sense.
Feint is really good when you have a problematic Mon on the other side and you go for your Dynamax and you just need to get rid of it. Just be like, all right, Dynamax is attacking into this. This is super obvious what I'm doing. And feint you so your protect goes away.
Exactly.
It is critically important there. It's just, when it works, it is so good. But I've had a lot of games, because I used to run feint on Raichu as well. And, like, there's a lot of times where it's just like, well, this did, like, no damage, and they didn't go for protect, even though I had anticipated it. And now I gave off my tech, so they know how to play around it now.
Yep.
Yeah, the first feint, if you do it correctly, can win you games.
Yep, and then after that, it's...
They really got to play around it.
Yep. Outside of that, Venusaur's pretty standard. Normal moves here: Sleep Powder, Leaf Swarm, Sludge Bomb, Protect with the wide lens.
Is Weather Ball just kind of falling off the face of the earth for Venusaur?
Venusaur's been, like, your drought setters are all fire types, so you don't really need the fire type attack on your Venusaur.
That's fair.
And then, like, what else are you going to do with it? Like, you get to throw out a rock type move in sand, a water type move in rain. Like, none of that is super duper important. Like, you can hit an opposing fire type, but if that's the case, you can just run Earth Power and have guaranteed to hit a fire type.
True.
Except for Charizard. But
True.
most of them are running Protect. Makes most sense because Venusaur, you kind of don't want to Dynamax anymore because you want to be able to Sleep Powder most of the time. This Gastrodon has Scald, Earth Power, Protect, and Recover, and I'm not a fan of both Protect and Recover. I would rather have one or the other, and then maybe like Yawn.
Or Muddy Water.
Or Muddy Water over Scald for spread damage.
Muddy Water also gives you a pseudo protection by giving you that accuracy drop.
Exactly.
Whereas like Scald is more potential residual damage with the burn. So I think it's really just like a toss-up of what do you anticipate fighting, and what do you want the spread damage, or do you want to be able to take out one target? I think is the big thing it comes down to.
Exactly. And then Charizard's also pretty standard. Charizards are starting to run Ancient Power now over the Solar Beam slot because they're being paired with Venusaur all the time.
Interesting.
So Zards can take out opposing Zards. Zards can take out Arcanine. They can do a ton of damage to Incineroar sitting across from you.
That's some sweet tech. That is not something I have seen, but that is real smart.
If the Torkoal is not built correctly, you can take out Torkoal in one shot.
I'm assuming they just need like no special defense investment.
Yeah, usually if you Dynamax, you just Dynamax in front of it, and then if they just like, oh, I want to put Torkoal out, then
like Torkoal that's cute. Go away.
If the Torkoal's not built correctly, it just blows up. Notably, I've been playing it on my Charizard. I've been using on ladder, and I have blown up an Arcanine. I've blown up a support Arcanine. I've blown up an Incineroar in the sun because I'm solar powered. I've blown up Max Roxfall has taken out Togekiss, Bulky Togekiss in the sun. It's taken out a whole bunch of other Pokemon that's like you don't normally think about because everyone like expects you to hit them with a solar beam or something, and it's like, nope, here's sand.
Be like, more importantly, you get the boost from your solar power, and then you don't take the damage at the end of turn because now it is sand.
Yeah, you just take the sand damage.
You're going to take sand damage, but I believe sand is less damage than solar power.
That's a good question. Sand is based off your HP, and then solar power is some flat rate or something like that.
That doesn't sound right.
Well, no, like solar power is it's like 1/16 or something like that.
And I
1/8.
And I think sand is 1/16.
Yeah, something like that. So you lose 1/8 compared to 1/16, which, if you're using Life Orb, it actually matters a lot.
It does. That adds up.
That's a whole
lot.
extra damage. That's a whole other attack you got there that you just saved from solar power. So that's just like a cool little tech. Also, I have Excadrill on my team, so it's just like it gets the special defense buffs from the sand. So that's just like a cool little tech that you can have sitting there.
Is it possible? Is it possible to make Charizard faster than Excadrill without sacrificing too much on Excadrill?
That is a good thought process.
Because here's where I'm going with this. We can set Sand with Charizard, and then activate Sand Rush on Excadrill.
No, we just set up Sand Force. We're still fast. Excadrill is still fast, man. Let's see here.
Dude, is your showdown being weird, or is it just mine?
It's just yours.
What the hell?
Let's see here. Jolly Excadrill at max speed is 154. So if we double our speed in sand, we get to a really, really big number. 308. Or we can do 1.3 times our normal damage with in Sandstorm with Sand Force.
Yeah, that's probably correct.
So, actually, Charizard is already faster than Excadrill.
Huh.
Because Charizard's max with benefit is 167. If I remember correctly.
Allow me to check.
I've already got it pulled up.
Oh, fine. I didn't want to help.
167. Timid Charizard is 167. So yeah, Charizard is going to be faster than Excadrill every time, no matter what, as long as you build your Charizard correctly. Which this Charizard would be.
Oh, for sure.
So that's just a cool little thing. You can just like set up Sand Force for your Excadrill and then smash something.
Which that seems real cool.
With your like, I think it's 172. Or no, 186. 180. That's not right. 187. There we go. Math. 187 attack on that Excadrill. Stab plus 1.3 times 1.3. That's earthquake.
A lot.
That earthquake hits like a truck. So, just think about that. That's cool. It's a cool thought process to think about. Like I said, we don't have a steel type on this team anyway to like deal with opposing fairy types. Really, the best thing we do is Venusaur Sledge Bomb, which looks kind of bad in the face of Togekiss because Togekiss just air slashes us or heat waves us, and this build will die instantly to air slash or heat wave from any kind of Togekiss. So, yeah, I like the Ninetales. Umbreon needs some work. Charizard's fine. Venusaur's fine. Gastrodon, change of move. And then Hitmontop is fine.
Yep. I really like this. That's something I haven't looked into is Hitmontop in Sun. But Hitmontop seems like a really good like addition to Sun because it gives you that Intimidate effect on something that's not Incineroar or Arcanine. So where you already have your multiple weaknesses that fire have, you're not stacking up on those even more. It's similar to what Incineroar or what Arcanine does for Sand, where it's just like eliminating those extra weaknesses.
Yeah. Looking at other Intimidate users and avoiding other more weaknesses, like you use Scrafty. Scrafty wouldn't be too bad in this spot either.
For sure. Like, bulky Scrafty is really cool. Also carries a vest very, very well, as I figured out this week.
You're welcome for that, by the way. 4 times weak to fairy is the problem there with Scrafty, but having the assault vest and most fairy types being special instead of physical is definitely a plus.
Yeah, I especially because like we have multiple resistances to fairy already. Like, just having this Hitmontop there is just fine. I genuinely like the Hitmontop on this team.
Same. You want to move on to a team featuring another fighting type in the form of Como?
Okay, so Como is real cool. And it's something I kind of worked on with Slacking on Discord back in Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Moon. I can't remember how long ago we were working on this.
Gen 7. Just say Gen 7.
Well, I mean, it had 2 different formats. That's the thing.
That's fine.
So where is this Como team you got for me?
This Como team comes to us from, let me find it again. Sam on Discord. And it features Kingler, which I don't know if this is a G-Max Kingler or not. Primarina, Como, Friend Guard Clefairy with Eviolite, and no attacking moves. We'll get into this thing in a minute, because this thing is actually really cool. Bisharp, and Whimsicott. The Kingler Primarina combo is a little weird in my opinion. That's like where we got double water type and triple fairy. I would be okay if I didn't probably have the Primarina, but Primarina, like, I guess the Primarina covers most of Como-O's weaknesses because it just like it has the Ice Beam, it hits the flying types, it hits opposing dragon types. It can tank a couple psychic type moves and be fine, but that's what also we have Bisharp for. I kind of just like want to keep Primarina and just want to drop Kingler for something else. Is that weird?
Maybe. Like, so this Kingler is really interesting. Where we're really Kingler can do a lot of damage, man. Like, even without getting off a single Swords Dance, like, without even attempting to get a Swords Dance off, it is extremely powerful. And it can be extremely fast, too. And once you do get a Swords Dance off here, which we can do thanks to Clefairy Follow Me, this thing can hit like a truck. Which I'm not sure, like, the damage output can be matched from Primarina.
It's probably similar.
Plus, like, having access to G-Max Foam Burst is really sweet. Like, it's another form of speed control if Whimsicott's not viable. So being able to have that is also just fine. And, like, it is covering different weaknesses that it's covering different type coverage for your team as well. So, like, yeah, we have Stone Edge on Bisharp, but we also have Rock Slide on Kingler. We don't have any other ground coverage, so this high horsepower is great. Like, and this is a physical water type compared to a special water type, which a lot of mons, like a lot of teams are prepared for a specially attacking, defensively, like a defensive wall, from a water type. So Kingler applying a different type of pressure seems acceptable.
It just feels like we're just like pigeonholed into all these like specific weaknesses because Kingler straight up loses to any Rotom in the game.
Oh, for sure.
You cannot beat a Rotom. You have 50 special defense and you will die.
Yeah, our special defense is real bad, and like we can be fast. Let's not underrate that. We can be fast.
127 without nature investment is the max you can get.
Wow, that's real fast.
You say that's real fast. Rotom's like 151 after it's
all right, that is real fast.
So, and like we were just talking about, Charizard's 167, and Excadrill, it was 151 or something like that.
Man.
Yeah, you say Kingler's fast, but in the realm of actual speed, after everything's said and done, Kingler's base speed is only 75.
And I mean, that's not the worst. Like again,
in the format with Dragapult.
Okay,
and it's bad.
When you compare anything to Dragapult, man, it seems slow.
Like, the format has Dragapult, it has a bunch of Speed 100 tier mons, like Charizard, it has a bunch of, the speed tier is creeped up, I feel like, compared to what other generations are. Because Dragapult's so fast, you have to put a preference on speed, because if you don't handle the Dragapult's going to handle you. And you're going to sit there and have no Pokemon left, and your opponent's going to be sitting on the same lead they just started the game with. Speed is key in this one, and we need to make sure we're fast enough. Hence why we have Tailwind. If we double 127, we get to 254.
Okay.
Which, that's faster than Dragapult without Scarf. That's faster than a lot of Pokemon, unless they have Tailwind, or... I don't know if that's faster than +1 Dragapult, though.
You're on your own on that one. That I'm not sure.
I need my damage calcs. Give me a second. I just always go to damage calcs. So, +1... 319. Nope, we are not faster. That's crappy.
That's real unfortunate.
Yep. That's not good enough. Okay. So yeah, we're not super duper fast, but we're fast. If we lead Kingler or Whimsicott, we get to do Tailwind, and then we get to G-Max and smack somebody around, lower their speed to where we can guarantee that we're going to be faster all the time. So
see,
we
that's,
can do that.
That's the big thing, is like, if we can get Tailwind up and we can get like a G-Max Foam Burst off, then like we are set.
Yeah. We're ready to rock and roll at that point.
Actually faster than everything at that point.
You should be at that point, hopefully. That's why I've been playing Swamp. Swamp has been great because Swamp is just like, oh, you want a Tailwind? You're still slower than me. But going through the rest of it, Como is Special Como with Throat Spray. Notably, when you go and hit Klingora Soul,
it triggers Throat Spray, correct?
Yep, it does. So you just get to do all these buffs and all of this stuff all at the same time. We have Flash Cannon and Aura Sphere as Flash Cannon's coverage for fairy types. Aura Sphere is our fighting special move of choice. Does Como get access to Focus Blast? It should, right?
Ooh, that I don't know. Let me check.
I'm faster at this than you. It does. But 70% accuracy, so it's just like, eh.
Yeah, like 120 base damage is real good, but you're also talking about 70% accuracy. So,
whereas Aura Sphere always hits for 80.
So it again, it's just that trade-off of power versus accuracy. What do you like? So,
which, if we're doing the buff thing, the 80 is fine.
Oh, for sure.
If we're doing the Dynamax thing, I'd much rather have Focus Miss.
Yeah, because then, I mean, we're removing that accuracy check.
Exactly. That's why. Back to this Bisharp here with Sucker Punch, Stone Edge, Iron Head, and Swords Dance. I don't like the Swords Dance, but it's also a weakness policy Bisharp, so it's weird.
I think, okay, so here's the thing. I don't think Bisharp is bulky enough to be able to handle weakness policy. Especially if it's coming from your opponent, because we don't have a way of triggering it ourselves, right? Like, we have Gleam and Moonblast. There's no Mach Punch. There's no...
No, there's no way to trigger it ourselves.
So, that's where I like weakness policy, is when we can self-trigger it. And without that, I just don't think we have enough bulk to be able to withstand an attack and be able to, like, return the damage. So, I think if we take weakness policy away, I like Swords Dance more, but I don't know if I'm in love with it. I think I'd rather just have Protect.
Yeah. Looking at this, a Dynamax Bisharp will take, on average, 31 to 38% from a Mach Punch if it's like Hitmontop or something like that.
Good lord!
And this isn't even a fully invested, like, Hitmontop attacking Hitmontop. This is a bulky special defense Hitmontop.
Oh my lord.
So for it to be actually viable, we'd have to probably be out of the speed and go HP. And then we take 25 to 31% from a Mach Punch, from our own Mach Punch if we want to do that. But the benefit is, at +2, we can kill everything.
I was going to say, what don't we OHKO at +2, especially with that array of moves?
We
have kind of a hard time with Excadrill.
Yeah, Excadrill's kind of a problem.
But, like, again, we're still +2.
we just max rock any water types in front of us. Sucker Punch becomes Max Dark, right? It still becomes Max Dark?
Yes, it still becomes Max Darkness.
So, yeah. If we had a way to trigger our own policy via, like, Bulldoze or something like that. I think Kingler gets Bulldoze.
Yes?
Maybe? Nope.
It does not.
It does not. Damn.
So close yet so far away.
So what we do is remove one of these extra water types and get a way to trigger our own weakness policy.
I wonder, does Como-O get Bulldoze?
That almost has to be a thing.
Yeah,
right?
it does.
Yeah.
That I don't hate.
We'd have to cut one of our...
We can cut one of the dragon moves, right?
Huh?
We just cut one of the dragon moves.
I don't think you understand what Conglora Soul is. Conglora Soul is not a damaging attack.
Excuse me?
It's the fancy dragon dance. You lose 33% of your health and you +1 all your stats.
I don't love it, but I don't hate it. And like, Clinging Cells is insane.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, what Clangor Soul does for us is we don't have to Dynamax to OHKO things. We just get to +2 our special attack for 33% of our health. Use our fancy Clefairy to make sure we get the set up.
Mm-hmm.
And then blow everybody up.
Because, again, like, that set of coverage covers basically everything. So between Bisharp and Como, we just cover everything.
Yeah.
We don't have a good answer for bulky water, except for Brute Force, which is just
Energy Ball
fine.
and Ipsicot. What are you talking about?
I meant between those two.
Oh, yeah, that's what the rest of your team's for.
True, like, you don't. It's more than just a one-man army, so.
But Bisharp and Como cover a lot of Pokemon.
True. Honestly, looking at this, I wouldn't hate cutting Kingler for, like, Rotom Mow.
That doesn't seem terrible.
Or Rotom Heat.
I was about to say Rotom Heat might be better.
Yeah, because like, we don't have fire or electric coverage here.
So then if we cut Kingler for Rotom Heat, we have 3 special attackers and 1 physical attacker. Whereas if we drop this Primarina, we get our Assault Vest back.
Which then we can cut the Swords Dance and put Assault Vest on Bisharp.
And then we can just do a berry on Rotom Heat and just blow everybody up.
Huh. This team just got way more dynamic with one mon change.
One mod I don't want to change, and I'm a very big fan of right now, is the no attacks Clefairy.
Oh yeah, this thing is sweet. I'm a big fan of this.
Follow me after you, helping hand and protect has become the norm for Clefairy. It's not really bulky enough to survive hits, so you kind of just like play mind games with your opponents. Like, am I going to hit protect? Am I going to hit follow me?
What am I going to
do? So you want a min speed Clefairy actually, so you can use after you to Trick Room to be able to deal with the threats.
All right,
it's currently
that's
what I'm
adorable.
It's currently what I'm using on my Machamp team to ensure that my Charizard and my Venusaur and my Primarina all get to attack first on a Trick Room.
That's adorable.
If I remember right, min speed Clefairy is super duper slow.
Oh, super slow.
0 IVs, negative nature, plus defense. 36. We get a 36.
Oh, that is real slow.
I think the only things we don't outspeed are Dusclops and Torkoal. And Excalibur, maybe?
So basically, any setter other than Dusclops, we can just after you and copy Trick Room.
Yep.
Which then does Trick.
Well, no. After you makes your next opponent, makes the next Mon go. We could do that if we wanted to, but what you do instead is you just focus down their damage and just leave the Trick Room setter.
Hold on, I need to read after you.
After you makes the next the target go next. So if you after you, the Pokemon sitting next to you, that Pokemon will go next. So you after you your Charizard gets to attack.
Oh, so it was like reverse quash.
Copycat. Yeah. You're thinking of copycat.
Oh, that's cool. This is way cooler than I thought.
So that's really good Trick Room tech when you don't have a good way to deal with Trick Room. If you wanted to run Taunt over Protect on your Whimsicott, you probably could.
I don't hate that. I also don't know how much you want both damaging attacks.
With one of our fairies not having an attack, and then the other fairy type has Dazzling Gleam, I feel like Moonblast is fine. Especially if we cut Primarina and put Rotom Heat.
If we cut Primarina, I really, really want Moonblast. And if we're putting in Rotom Heat, then I really want Energy Ball too. So it's probably correct to have both.
Yep. What? Anything else you want to talk about on this team?
I don't know, man. This team's really cool. I think this is a really cool idea that can be executed just slightly better to get a more dynamic feel to it.
Yeah.
I know I said a lot of buzzwords there.
You're on the cusp of doing really, really cool things in the format because it's just like all these little things just like they add up over time. Like Kingler is like Tailwind plus the max foam burst slows them down, so make sure you're even faster. So if the Dragapult is setting up +1, you will get there eventually if you just keep slowing them down. Bisharp notably has Sucker Punch to pretty much KO an opposing Dragapult if it comes up.
The only thing there is like it's real bad against like Dragon Dance Dragapult.
Yeah.
Or like
because those are usually the bulky ones where they
where
they want you to
need
Sucker Punch.
They need that speed boost to be able to, that attack boost to really get going. Because they're not max damage.
Yeah. You ready to move on to our last team we got here?
This is real interesting.
So this one comes from Discord user Swede. Shedinja is supposed to be a sweeper. If that makes sense.
Uh-huh. Elaborate.
I don't know exactly. I'm assuming what we do is we somehow soak our Shedinja to remove its fire typing, fire weakness. So that way we're only weak to Ghost and Dark.
No, because we get rid of Ghost too, don't we? It turns it into pure water.
Does the soak turn us into pure water, so then we're just weak to electric gas? That seems fine.
This is adorable.
Rotom Moe's the bane of our existence. So that's actually really cute. So the rest of this team here is, there's a Silvally with normal gem. There is a Lightning Rod Rhydon, so they can never hit us with an electric type attack. So its only weakness then is grass.
Sorry, I just can't handle this, man.
He's dying over here.
I was not ready for this.
We have a weakness policy Dragapult using acrobatics instead of fly, which that's really cool tech.
It's real good once our policy's triggered.
Oh yeah. We have Inteleon to soak our Shedinja. Also has Safeguard to prevent it from being status, like burn. Poison, paralysis, sleep, all those important things, which Inteleon is a fast Safeguard user too.
Yeah, that's
actually really
again
good.
Some really sweet tech I haven't seen before, but here again it just makes perfect sense.
And then Gastrodon to protect our Rhydon. That's what it comes down to. Storm Drain, Rindo Berry, Scald, Earth Power, Yawn, Recover. This is a set. This is what I would like to see on most Gastrodons. Stuff like this.
Is Eviolite Rhydon bulkier than Rhyperior?
Not really, but it can be. If you invest right, it can be. Notably, this is a Rhydon that doesn't have a special attacking move to get the boost, to use the boost from.
I mean, we're not really worried about that here. It's just, holy cow, that special defense is garbage.
Yeah, they
wow,
always
that
are.
That is real bad.
Yep. That's why we have Gastrodon, because any water type attack that goes in the Rhydon is going to KO it, no matter what happens.
It's going to be lethal, yes.
So that's what Gastrodon's here. Silvally gets to do normal gen explosion stuff. Also imprisons.
It has imprison for parting shot.
And protect.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I can't remember what the other attack is. I didn't have it pulled up.
So we get to turn off Protect, we get to turn off Parting Shot, so Incineroar can't get out. Inteleon is super fast, so we get to soak our Shedinja. Would it almost be worth running Scarf on Inteleon to make sure we guarantee a soak?
Well...
Because Follow Me ruins this plan entirely.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Which, I mean, if we're Scarf, it doesn't really matter. Like, yeah. Follow Me still has priority. I'm not sure. Like, the only thing we get blown out by is Fast Dragapult, or, like, Shadow Sneak in general. But again, like, we're going to lose a Shadow Sneak on that plane anyway.
Yeah, we lose a Shadow Sneak anyway, we lose to Follow Me anyway most of the time.
So, I don't think we need Scarf. Like, if they have Dragapult on the other side, I don't think the Shedinja plan is where we want to be.
No, because then we just ally switch and soak anyway.
Just get them. Oh my lord, this is adorable.
There's not a lot we can do to this team to make it any kind of cuter, because this seems very, very
like
planned out.
The more we talk about it, the more in depth it gets, and just I am not. I got nothing to say. This is the team of the year. I'm calling it now. We're done.
Okay. Really cool team. I like that one a lot. It's a good.
This one's really cool. It's It's all over the place, and it is really cool.
So...
Oh, so one thing we didn't touch on this. Shedinja has Shadow Sneak to trigger our Dragapult's weakness policy.
Yeah. It also means we hopefully will go first every time we attack.
Oh my lord, this is adorable. The more I look at it, the
better it gets.
Yeah. I need this rental code. I need to try this.
Well, you can go get it from our Discord user Swede, and he'll probably give it to you.
I'm gonna holler at Swede later.
Okay. So all these teams and all this talk is kind of just brings us into Play Pokemon's Players Cup, which is their new tournament format they're going to try to do because COVID-19 kind of took out all of their in-person tournaments.
You know, just the usual. No tournaments, so we had to make our own. But wait, they actually are supporting it and actually going to do something about it.
Yeah. This one probably took them a little while to kind of figure out like how to get done logistically.
Oh, for sure, and that's why
it's a lot of resources and
yeah, and that's why it's May and we're just now hearing about this when all this hit a month ago. But this is not something that just goes, oh hey, everything's canceled the rest of the year, but here's this instead.
You can't think about that.
This is all very well thought out and hopefully very well executed. Because on paper, this looks extremely well done, and I'm real glad to see Pokemon actually doing something.
So the long and short of it is Master Division players for both the trading card game, the VGC format, and Pokken tournament all have a chance to enter the Pokemon Players Cup. For Pokemon TCG players, you playing through Pokemon TCG online, and I don't know what the top cut is, but it's something to do with their June leaderboard for the standard format. So there's a whole bunch of things here that I don't really understand for the TCG.
I'll have to read into format, it a little more.
Tournament rep, I don't know what that is. That what's the tournament format?
I haven't played a lot of organized Pokemon play, Pokemon TCG. I am very much a casual player, so I understand some of the terminology here, but some of it I'm gonna have to get a hold of our LGS and just be like, what does this mean? Because I don't understand.
Yep. And then Pokken tournament players, you just get to register directly because it's usually not as big of a group. There's no real leaderboards for Pokken, if that makes sense. Because the way the game was designed originally for the Wii U, so they didn't want to do a whole lot of server work for online play.
Mm-hmm.
So that one's just sign up, play the first stage, find out if you make second stage, play second stage, find out if you make third stage, so on and so forth. That brings us to the VGC qualifications, and this is the fun one. They're using their international challenge for May to qualify you for this Players Cup double elimination bracket thing. What they're going to do is they're going to pull the top 256 from North America, the top 256 from Europe, and the top 256 from Latin America, and the top 128 from Oceania to play in the double elimination bracket in July, and then the finalists from that go on to play for the Championship Cup in August. That all made sense.
It's clear as mud.
Cool.
So let's break this down. Next weekend, this following weekend, correct? May 21st
to the 24th.
So that is a week from today, the day we record. So next Thursday.
Yep.
The May International Challenge is going to be open.
Yep.
Allowing you to play your X number of matches over your 3 days or 4 days or whatever it is.
Yep.
And based on final standings for each region, so I could be wrong, but I'm 95% sure most of our viewers are from North America. The top 200...
most likely.
The top 256 North American players are going to qualify. Same Correct. For Europe, same for Latin America. Oceania is 128, only because they are a smaller region.
Correct.
So, basically, aim for the top 1,000, and that's a good position.
Yep.
That hopefully will get you there.
Yep.
Again, we do have a ton of North American players. So, top 1,000 for North American players may not be high enough.
Notably, there's usually there's a ton of Japanese players on the boards as well.
Which I'm assuming they go into Oceania?
No, they probably have their own thing they're doing.
Oh, yeah, because they don't have them listed here at all.
Yeah, they have their own player base and own player thing because there's so many of them to begin with. Top 256 wouldn't be a fair cut because they make up so much of their own player base. So they probably have their own thing they're going to do. That's usually how things for China, Japan, Korea, all those...
Your Asian market.
Yeah, that's usually how that works for them.
Interesting. I'm glad you pointed that out because I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah, Oceania is going to be more Singapore, Indonesia, Australia, that area.
Yep.
And then I'm not sure how far Latin America goes, north and south. I'm not sure what that qualifies as. I don't know if Latin America includes Brazil.
I'm assuming that's all of like South America and like Mexico. Well, probably not Mexico because that's North America.
Yeah.
So probably majority of like South America, etc.
Yeah. Hopefully. I don't know how it all works.
Yeah, again, I'm not sure. Latin American players know that they are Latin America.
Yep.
So,
you know where you're at. For those that may not have played an international challenge before, you get to play 3 days, 4 days, 3 days, however many days it actually is. You play Thursday night, Friday all day, Saturday all day, and then Sunday till whenever it's like, so say it started Thursday at 7 p.m. your time, everything will end Sunday at 7 p.m. your time. So you get 3 full days. You get 72 hours to play your 45 games, but you could only play 15
per day.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
So your first day on Thursday afternoon, whenever it starts, whenever the queue opens up, you can get your first 15 in real fast, and it takes a couple hours, 3 hours tops if their games go long, and then you don't have to play again until Friday night. Or if you want to wait till Saturday morning to play, you can do that. And then Saturday night into Sunday, you can finish your last 15. Notably, you do not have to finish all 45 games. Granted, if you just go on a hot streak at the start and get to a comfortable spot, you can put it down and walk away.
And that's that. You know, if you feel like your win percentage is high enough, you can stop.
Yep.
That doesn't mean you can be one and done, because
no.
Yeah, there's going to be people who go 16-1, and that's going to look way better than 1-0.
Exactly. It is a ladder still. It's still a ladder. So think of it kind of like how Showdown works. Showdown works by you play and you earn points on the Elo ladder, and you want to probably try to be in the top 1700s to 1800s. That's where you want to end up. That'll be probably the top 1000-ish. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you want to fire for. 1800 is a lot of points in this game.
It really is. That's a ton.
Wolfie Glick won the April International Challenge, and he was I think his point total was 1801. So you want to be in that 1750s to 1800, and if you can get there and you think you're good there, leave it alone.
just drop it, walk
That's
away,
my
you're
advice. Good. My last April International Challenge, I played 31 games. I finished 19 and 12, and I finished in the top 3,300, I think it was. Which, I had a mediocre team, and I didn't even get to play all my games. And I threw a bunch of them there at the end of the night because I was tired. I probably shouldn't have played anymore, but it is what it is. I'm hoping that I do much better this time I'm hoping I figure Machamp out before this starts.
Oh, we will. We have a week. We will figure out your team.
I'm excited to play in these. I like these a lot. The format's fun. It's best of one. It's not a real good gauge of like how good you are because it's best of one, but it's still fun to play in them. And it's free. Plus, you get Ultra Ball Guy.
I'm in.
Like, no, the shirt's black and gold, and it's great.
You could probably convince me just for that.
And all you gotta do, you just gotta show up, and you gotta register, play one game, and that's all you gotta do. I'm telling you, bud, break the rust off. You only gotta play for a couple hours a night, and you can get your 15 in.
Carl, I am 2-0 in Draft League. I am unbeatable at this point. I'm just saying, I don't feel like I could possibly lose, so that means I'm going to play in this and get obliterated and feel awful about myself.
Come on, it'll be fun. Plus, Ultra Ball Guy.
Which, to be fair, I didn't get any of the last ones, so...
You didn't get Great Ball Guy?
No, I didn't play.
Aww. That's sad.
It's whatever.
Anyway. Yeah, this is for Master Division only, notably. Any listeners that are not not qualified for the Masters Divisions, if you're in younger divisions, I'm not sure what they're going to do. Usually those formats are smaller groups, and it's a little bit... This is already going to be hard for them to run. This is a lot of server load.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember right, it took them...
I think after this announcement... I think after this announcement, it's going to be even higher turnout.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because it's just be like, oh, I can make the pseudo worlds for Pokemon if I just gimmick my way fast enough up to the top.
Yep. And I think that's a good way in Best of One, is like, have a gimmick and just go hard on it.
Yep. Have a gimmick that no one really knows about and just do your thing really, really well. It's like combo decks and Magic. Just do your thing really, really well, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
Whether that be...
You need your game one percentage.
Yeah, exactly. Just gain percentage points. Every time you just you think about it, it's just like, oh, I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to hit Surf, smash with Colossal, game's over.
And that's good enough.
That's what your game plan needs to be. Don't try to overthink it. You will get outplayed eventually. That does happen. There's always someone better than you in Pokemon. That's usually how it works. Or someone gets luckier than you. That's the other thing that happens.
That's a big part of Pokemon, man. Luck is a skill.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Do you want to touch on your week of lack of luck all week?
Oh, you mean the terrible, terrible events that conspired to my Master Ball ranking of 17,000 when I got in?
Just saying, man, that's a lot of Master Ball players.
There's more than that. I'm pretty sure there are people who did worse than I did. I played 71 matches. After going 6-0 and getting all the way up to almost to Master Ball, I played another 7 days after that, and I have just lost all the points on Ultra Ball, then got all the points back, and lost them all again, and I did that seesaw for about probably 50 of the matches, and then I just went on a terrible losing streak for another 10 or 12, And then today, on the recording, I finally made Master Ball with the Triple Ghost team. I gave up on Machamp, and I just went to the Triple Ghost, and I was just like, I'm going to beat people up with Ag Slash. I don't even care anymore.
Just go and get it. Just get it done.
And that's what got me there. Is like I just started beating people up with Ag Slash, and I played a team that I knew better than I did with the Machamp team. I just don't know the Machamp team very well.
Well, so. It's also fairly new, so like you're still trying to learn play patterns and everything behind it. So like it's understandable, but at the same time, it is a lot of luck, and so you need to be like prepared for that and hope it's good, you know. So
that's the other thing. You cannot use rental teams at the IC.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, you have to have your own team.
Huh.
So remember that one when you're going and trying to do all this nonsense. You ready to do this team building exercise I have planned for us?
Let's talk about this, man.
Because this is going to be fun.
So, we don't have tournament results from this past weekend, and if we do, we haven't found any. So, basically, as just like a little extra filler here, and to kind of help out some of the newer VGC players, we're going to basically walk through our steps of how we build a team here.
Yeah. Just things we think about, how we approach things, what sets we need to look at, what do we need to, like, what resources we use, things like that. Personally, my biggest resources are Pikalytics and
Which, if you've never been on Pikalytics, it is a fantastic website.
I'm waiting for the Android app.
I didn't know that was a thing, and I'm so excited, and I'm so upset I switched to iPhone.
No, they have the iPhone already has its app. They released it on the Apple Play Store. Yeah.
Excuse me?
They have an Apple app. I'm personally waiting for the Android app. I'm excited. I use it a lot. And then the other thing I really like, I live and breathe on Showdown. Showdown is bookmarked on my phone. It's bookmarked on my computer. When I'm sitting here doing editing for all this stuff, I'm usually sitting there in the background playing Showdown, just playing matches over and over, getting better at the game. Granted, it's not perfect. There are bugs. Machamp's Chi Strike is bugged. It only stacks once and doesn't stack after that.
That one I didn't know.
It's kind of important. But whatever.
Yeah, well.
No, that's super important because then you can't stack your Chi Strikes. So when you come out, you just can't crit people with Cross Chop or crit people with Stone Edges easily. I want 100%, not 50%.
You'll be fine.
So what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with a core? Do you want to start with a certain Gmax? Do you want to start with a certain Pokemon in general?
I got one for you that I want to work on.
Okay.
I want to work on Guts Obstagoon.
Guts Obstagoon. So, Guts as an ability means we're kind of locked into an item already.
Yeah, this is going to basically lock us in immediately to our ability, our first Mon, and our first item with Flame Orb. Granted, Flame Orb is not an item that basically any other Mon wants. So, like, we're not immediately taking away, like, Life Orb or Choice Scarf or anything critically important to anyone else. The big reason I want access to Guts and Flame Orb is because Obstagoon gets access to Facade, which not only is stab, but also gets boosted because we're a status condition, and gets boosted because of Guts, so we're just going to try to output a lot of damage very quickly.
Yeah. Notably, our max attack without our nature is 142.
Which that's pretty good.
That's pretty high. Which then Guts boosts that again, and then Facade's power is doubled because we are burnt. Also, Guts removes the negative effects of burn minus the damage dealt at the end of turn. Outside of Facade, I'm not sure what moves we want quite yet. because we don't really have any other Pokemon to go with. Obstagoon notably has a very big weakness to fighting, also has a weakness to bug, and has a weakness to fairy. So what we would need to look for is specifically something that counters counters a Conkeldurr, or counters a Machamp, or a Hitmontop, some kind of fairy type or a fairy flying type. Which brings us to probably what we really want is either Togekiss or Primarina, depending on which one you like more. If you like the redirection from Togekiss, you can run that. Or if you like the bulkiness that Primarina brings to the game and the water typing as well, you can play Primarina. For the sake of the purposes of this, I personally like Primarina a little bit more.
Okay.
Primarina doesn't pigeonhole us into having to have Dragapult and other Pokemon that are normally played with Togekiss to just play around with it. Plus, Primarina holds Assault Vest really well.
Okay.
And can be an extra bulky Pokemon to pair with Obstagoon if we need to.
Yeah, because Obstagoon is going to be not absurdly frail. Its big weakness is its special attack is not great. Base 60 special attack is not great, but we don't want it to be a special attacker with Guts. We want it to be a physical attacker with Facade. So, we're not worried about that special attack stat. Base 101 defense means we're at 121 without any investment. 81 defense, special defense puts us at 101. Base 95 speed puts us at 105. Those are decent stats on its face value. With nothing more than that, those are decent stats. So I legitimately think this is a good starting point for this Mon.
Yeah. Definitely going to probably max out our attack just because it is what we need to focus on the most.
We just want to hit real hard.
Outside of that, we can start to play with some of these numbers here. HP base is 93, which at level 50 puts us at 168. And we could put more HP in, but that means our burn's going to deal more damage to us.
True. So, I don't know if we want any HP investment, where we could just bulk up with, defense and special defense, and just be a little bulkier and not take all that residual flame orb damage.
We could probably go, 140, put enough speed into it to where we actually, benefit from it. 123 is pretty fast. Like we said, Kingler at was 127 after its max investment, and we've only put 60 into this Obstagoon, and we're at 123. So we're pretty fast.
64 the same value?
Yeah.
Okay, so that with those
we
remaining
don't have
4...
our nature yet, so that's why it's weird.
Mm-hmm. So we could be adamant, just in max out our damage. We also could be Jolly. Jolly is also minus fine. Special attack, right?
Yep.
Which that puts us at 135, which is also that's a decent speed.
Yeah,
that is nothing to frown upon.
There's no way to use this force, so what we're probably
just throw it into HP.
Yeah, just give us an extra HP. Go to 169. And,
nice.
And that's kind of what you look at. You kind of just you'll go through and you'll actually do your calculations for, do I survive Dazzling Gleam at this stat? Do I survive Moonblast? Do I survive Mach Punch? Do I survive... What's the numbers you need to hit to survive certain attacks? And that's kind of where this step would come into play.
Mm-hmm.
But just we know we're going to be max attack, and then you just fill in your numbers from there. This Primarina, popular sets for Primarina that run Assault Vest is just max your special attack, and then put a decent chunk into HP, put a little bit into speed, and then it's literally just 4 in both of your defenses. And you go modest. Primarina's pretty tested out. This seems to be the most common. You run Hyper Voice. You get to run. Which
Hyper Voice with Liquid Voice becomes a water attack.
Yep, water spread damage. You get to run Energy Ball because you are Assault Vest and you need the 4th attacking damage. That's also great coverage for Primarina.
Dazzling Gleam is stab, just, again, spread damage seems really good here. That's really what Primarina is good at. It's just, like, putting out as much damage as we possibly can around the board. Then, like, this last slot could be, like, helping... Oh, we can't be helping hand, because we're fast.
Hydro Cannon, or Water Pledge, or Scald, or
Icy Wind's not bad. Like, helps with speed control if we want it.
You'd probably want a Water move in the slot just in case you're forced to Dynamax your Primarina.
Okay.
Because when you Dynamax, Hyper Voice does not go to Water type.
Because it is no longer a sound-based move.
Exactly. So, here's where you get tricky. You can do Pledge shenanigans. You can run Water Pledge with a Grass or Fire Pledge and do combo moves. Swamp is really good, especially if Obstagoon isn't the fastest thing in the world in what you want to do. You can run Water Pledge and then do Swamp terrain shenanigans on your opponent to where your Obstagoon then becomes the fastest thing on the side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's 123 and that Dragapult is now, I think, Swamp is 75%. It's weird. I don't know how it works with stages and whatnot. 75% is it's just what it says it is. But if that's the case, if you want to do Water Pledge, you need a Grass starter. And a strong Grass starter to pair with Primarina is usually Venusaur.
Mm-hmm.
You could also pair it with Rillaboom, which, wherever Rillaboom is at. I mainly like Rillaboom more for when the DLC comes out, which at the time of this, it's almost less than a month.
We did get an announcement saying it will be released by the end of June?
Yeah.
So, like, we will have something to actually look forward to here in the next month.
Yeah. Which, Rillaboom gets access to Fake Out, which is something I really like. The DLC version will hopefully give us Grassy Surge.
If not, I'm gonna be real upset. I'm gonna riot.
We also get Drum Beating.
What does Drum Beating do?
Drum Beating is a Grass type move that has a 100% chance to lower target speed by 1.
Okay. Again, so if you weren't doing
pledges, if you weren't you're a physical mon, so it's just like the pledges are all special. So it's like whatever you want to do with this, you don't have to run the pledges. If this was my team and I wanted to run Rillaboom because Fake Out Hydro Cannon is probably going on this Primarina because this is 150 stab.
And that's real high.
Yep. And then we can do Drum Beating, and then we can do like Knock Off. Because we like being able to mess with people's items. This is another Pokemon that kind of can hold an Assault Vest kind of well, but it only has 70 base defense, so it's special defense, so it's kind of just like you max it out to 122 and then you only get to about 183. Unless you just want to be, I think it's careful.
Mm-hmm.
Because then your 134 times 1.5 is like almost 200. Which isn't bad. If you want, and that's kind of what this is it's like, oh, Assault Vest looks better over here. We can move Assault Vest here, and then Primarina can hold, say, Throat Spray.
Which, if we're doing that, then I don't know if we want the Hydro Cannon anymore. Instead, then we can run, like, Protect in that last slot, too.
Exactly. We can run the Protect. We don't have to play the Energy Ball because we're playing with a Grass type.
Oh, yeah, you smart.
Which we can run. There's Perish Song you can play. There's Helping Hand you can play.
I actually really like Helping Hand in that last slot.
Yeah. Because even if you Dynamax, it's still going to be...
Max Guard.
Exactly. With that change there, I kind of like Moonblast over Dazzling Gleam.
Just to be a more, like, direct attacker instead of doing all this spread damage?
Yeah.
Okay. The fact that it gets access to both is actually really awesome. Because, like, Togekiss doesn't. Togekiss only gets Gleam.
Yeah. And then last move for Rillaboom, you usually want a weakness coverage of some sort. In this case, we get high horsepower,
which covers our fire weakness and just does pretty decent damage.
So with that way, we would probably want to do that. We already have a fairly high attack stat at 125.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to be like max attack as much as like we just want to be like bulky sweeper.
So we can probably go to like 212 HP, probably 164 special defense, and go up about there, and then that probably just does that.
Yeah, I mean that looks like those stats look fine. Again, yeah. It really comes down to what are we trying to live, everything else.
So that's kind of what this is. Now that we've seen kind of like what these guys do, this leads us into a Grass Water Fire Core, notably.
Mm-hmm.
So with our weakness to fighting here on Obstagoon, I kind of don't want Incineroar.
I think we want Charizard here.
Charizard works. Arcanine works.
Well, my big thought here is like, if we have this weakness to fighting, then we can have Charizard, which then resists it and actually covers our weakness, and because it gets access to like max Airstream and can therefore take down like Conkeldurs.
Yeah. Charizard. You almost have to be solo powered. If you have access to solo power now, you might as well just be solo powered.
Yeah, I don't see any reason not to be.
Charizard usually carries Life Orb. You can also carry Charity Berry, Expert Belt, Charcoal's fine, things like that. Notably here, with Charizard being our fire type, you can still do the pledge system if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
You can run Water Pledge on Primarina and then run Fire Pledge on Charizard. Rainbow gives you double chance. It doubles your odds of secondary effects happening.
Meaning stuff like Air Slash has a better chance of critting. You have a better chance for Heat Wave to burn. It makes it where like all your secondary effects from non-Dynamax moves actually take effect more often.
Exactly. Cool things that I like to do with my Charizard is I like to run Workup. If I'm going to Dynamax Zard, Workup gives us a buff to our special attack and our attack at the same time.
Huh. Okay, so what are we worried about that for?
It's just whatever. It's a buff instead of like most Zards run Protect. So when you have a threat against it that Charizard's scared of, they expect you to protect, so they usually attack the other slot. Well, if they attack the other slot, you just get the Workup off. And then you can, hopefully, if you're faster than that threat, you can blow them up. Another one is, you could also run Helping Hand on Charizard.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know Charizard got Helping Hand.
Yep, Charizard gets Helping Hand. You could also run Dragon Dance if you somehow want to do a physical Zard. It's not recommended because solar power, but physical Zards are a thing. Like, it's not crazy to see that stuff. You could also just run a 4th damage move. You can just run you can run 4 damaging moves and not worry about Protect if you wanted to. Charizard's stat line is pretty straightforward. Max special attack, max speed, timid.
4 points into pick a slot.
Usually it's HP or defense because rock type moves suck.
Which we don't have a resistance to rock yet.
Not yet. Which we can solve that problem. We kind of covered the fighting type weakness. We kind of covered the bug type weakness with Charizard here. We haven't really covered the fairy type weakness. So we kind of just we need a steel type or a poison type. Steel's more common, steel's usually better, and steel resists a lot of cool types. It's important things there. Granted, steel's also weak to fighting, but we have that double covered with Primarine and Charizard.
Yep.
So it usually just pick a steel type. I would look at Lucario, look at Biosharp, but Obstagoon has the dark type, so we don't really need to worry about running Biosharp because that's just another 4 times weakness.
Well, interesting thing we could do is if we want to run Lucario, that force damaging move on Charizard could be beat up.
Yeah. And you could do justified Lucario strats. Notably, your Life Orb is going to wreck you.
Oh, yeah, that seems real bad.
So if that was the case, then...
Probably want that to be Charty Berry. And then we can put the Life Orb on Lucario and just do massive damage with it.
Yeah. So justified this. Probably just get rid of the Solar Beam.
Yeah, I think with Rillaboom, we really don't need access to the actual grass coverage there. I'm assuming you wanted that attack to be maxed.
Yeah, because there's no moves in it yet. It doesn't max the attack stat. It treats every Pokemon the same.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, whatever.
Notably, Lucario gets access to Bullet Punch,
which is real good, especially once you get your attack boosted.
We get access to Close Combat on Lucario. We also get access to Meteor Mash, which is a very strong Steel type attack. And then the last move we can.
He gets Blaze Kick.
Yeah, he gets Blaze Kick.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you did.
Huh.
You can run Ice Punch for coverage. You can run. The other thing you can do is if you didn't want to do Justified Beat Up strats, you can run Special Lucario.
Mm-hmm.
Because its special attack is actually higher than its attack. So Special Lucario is kind of a cool thing. You get Flash Cannon, you get Aura Sphere, you get Psychic.
And you get there's one other. Dragon Pulse.
Yeah, you get Dragon Pulse, which is really cool.
You also get Nasty Plot, which I didn't know.
You also get Shadow Ball.
Which he also has Shadow Claw, so you still get that coverage on either if you want it. Which we really don't have any coverage for it. We don't. I mean, well, we have Obstagoon for Ghosts. We have a Dark type.
We also have Rillaboom. Rillaboom's got knockoff for Dusclops.
Yeah, sure.
Obstagoon is likely running either Throat Chop or Darkest Lariat, most likely.
Mm-hmm. I think we can go ahead and fill in this here.
Yeah.
We have Facade, we have Throat Chop, probably want Thunder Punch just because we don't have an electric coverage. In this last slot, we probably want Protect.
We also get Gunk Shot.
Gunk Shot's actually really sweet, especially if we it has that same problem that Aura Sphere does that we talked about earlier. But if we're gonna Dynamax our Obstagoon, we can get rid of that real quick.
Yeah. So
also
Thunder Punch notably hits. Huh?
You were saying?
Thunder Punch gives us super effective against flying, gives us super effective against water, whereas Gunk Shot hits grass and fairy. But that's about it, really.
Well, we have Ice Punch on Lucario, right?
We have Rock Slide on Lucario.
Okay. I couldn't remember
Lucario
what we put in that
needed
last slot.
a way to beat opposing fire types. Rock Slide is spread damage, can flinch. Instead of Lucario, you could also run Focus Sash Excadrill in this slot.
Mm-hmm.
Which pairs well with Charizard because you can run Earthquake and then you can't hit you're not hitting your Charizard.
Well, if we're doing that, we could run Protect on Obstagoon as well, so we can lead with Excadrill Obstagoon, hit Protect, or Obstruct. Hit Obstruct and Earthquake and just do real good damage that way too.
I actually like Excadrill more.
Oh, over Lucario, I agree.
Yeah.
Like, the more we talk about this, the more I like it here. But
And
that
that's
Focus
going to
Sash...
happen. Pokemon are going to swap in and out all the time, and you're going to find something you like more than the other one. Situations like that. Where is this?
What are you looking for?
Earthquake. I was looking for Protect. That's usually the first move I throw on Excadrill. Then... So Excadrill's weird. You can run double stab with Earthquake and high horsepower if you have Pokemon that can't protect themselves.
So, like, Primarina here because not Primarina, because we moved the vest onto Rillaboom. But Rillaboom's defense is fairly high, so, like, worst case scenario, you can take an Earthquake. Like, it's not the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
Also, I think you resist Earthquake?
Yes! We bring this up, like, once a week, man.
Yeah, we always forget. Typing charts are weird. Don't give us that look.
And like they update them every gen, and so it's just like I don't remember. It used to be. I don't know.
So, Excadrill here is really, really good. Mold Breakers specifically to hit opposing Rotoms,
which is real important because like your Rotom can anticipate like a high horsepower going into a slot or something and switch in and just be like, well, I'm Mold Breaker, go away. It's like, it just eliminates moves from your opponent being able to attempt to outplay you. And, like, Rotom generally carries Protect, so you can just be like, well, you know, you didn't go for Protect this turn, instead I'm going to Earthquake and get a double KO this turn.
Yeah. Looking through this, we don't really have a good support Pokemon. Rillaboom kind of support with like Fake Out and Knockoff, and like Drum Beating to like do speed control stuff. But we really need a actual like good way to control speed. We don't have a good way to do that.
Okay. So what's your thought here?
There's things we can do. We are usually fast, so first thing I would like to do is like look at Tailwind users.
Mm-hmm. But the first one that comes to mind is Whimsicott.
Always, every time is Whimsicott. Whimsicott pairs well with Charizard, pairs well with Excadrill.
And, like, if we get Tailwind up, Obstagoon becomes that much more appealing, too.
Yeah. Another one that has been gaining popularity is Noivern. Noivern also completes our Fantasy Core with Primarina, Excadrill, Noivern.
Uh-huh.
Also, Frisk, as its ability, is super duper important.
Yep, lets you know what your opponent's doing, so you can actually play around it a little more as well.
Let's see what we can do with a Noivern here. So,
okay.
Noivern is fairly fast. Not the fastest thing in the world, but probably wanting to do special attacks on it because its special attack is way higher than its actual attack.
Oh yeah, significantly higher.
192 is not bad at all.
Oh yeah, and like we talked about Lucario being like, you can be physical or special here, and it's just like, its stats are close enough. It's I believe it's 110 versus 115 special attack, whereas like with Noivern it's like 78 versus 93. That is significantly more. Like those stat points are going to actually matter. Whereas with Lucario, that 5 points of difference equates to like 7 points at level 50. Or something like that. It doesn't make that big of a difference.
So what we can do here is we know we're going to run Tailwind on our Noivern, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We know we're looking for special type attacks. Probably want some sort of Dragon type stab in the form of either Meteor or Pulse, depending on what I want to do with it.
I personally like Meteor more. Do we get access to U-Turn?
We do.
Huh, that makes Meteor real appealing.
Right?
Especially because we can, like, set Tailwind and then get out of dodge if need be.
And then probably just, like,
Hyper Voice is fine, just as, like, standard spread damage. Let's see, we have access.
I don't hate Taunt.
I don't hate Taunt either, especially seeing how fast we are.
Like, looking at Taunt means, we can hit fast taunts against opposing, like against the Dusclops that's trying to trick room.
Mm-hmm.
We can taunt them out. We're not prankster taunt, but
we're pretty dang
you're faster
fast.
than Dusclops.
Yeah,
you're faster than Dusclops. I like the U-turn. The U-turn's nice, so we can bounce in and out for our Draker Meteor, just to like land a Draker Meteor, bounce out. Too bad we don't get like parting shot or something. That'd be really cool. Yeah, I'm not sure what we get wild charge. What the heck?
Oh yeah, our move coverage is real weird, man.
That's weird. So max speed for sure. Defenses are pretty good. HP's decent at 85. I don't know what our item would be quite yet.
We're not bulky enough to dictate leftovers, which is usually your go-to like support Mon's item.
Yeah. We could do a 33% berry.
I don't hate like a Guavberry or Ayapa or really any of those.
Whatever the 33 bind that's not Figgy. So from there, probably want to do HP investment.
Yeah, non-zero amount of HP, non-zero amount of like defense and special defense.
And then just split those up as evenly as possible. And then we can just put the rest in special attack. So we get the 120.
Looks great.
And again, you do your calcs and whatnot, but for just the sakes of just trying to fill this team out, this doesn't look half bad for just like a 10-minute rundown of starting with Obstagoon, which we never finished the EVs for. Boop. Boop.
Sure. Looks great.
So, like, again, just like certain mons want to be maxed out in certain things, and certain mons want to be able to spread out. Doing your calculations and whatnot, which they have that here on Showdown. They have a damage calculator. Picolytics also has a damage calculator now.
That I didn't know.
Nifty. Huh?
I said that I didn't know.
They have a team builder on there. They have a damage calculator, which you can all get through the app, which is super great. But yeah, that's kind of how we kind of approach team building. Not really focus super hard on stopping specific mons, more so playing around specific types. I know that a lot of pro players is like, oh, you got to play around this mon, you got to play around this mon. Well, my laddering grind has taught me anything. Do not expect to see what you see the top tier list on Picolytics. You can go
in a more general sense.
Yeah.
Like, I know we talk about week in and week out of how Dragapult's the best thing, and like how Togekiss is really good, and like all this is just like those are what you can expect because they are the best. These are S tier Pokemon. You can always expect to play against them in some capacity. If you play 5 matches a day, I guarantee you will hit one every day.
Yeah. But playing in fear of them is the problem. It's just like, if you're always worried about Dragapult and then your opponent doesn't have Dragapult, you're just kind of like, what do I do now?
Yeah,
it's like throwing your whole game plan off.
It's like bringing 6 dragons to fight a Dragapult, and then you run into Togekiss.
Exactly.
Like, well, congrats, you played yourself.
So, we hope this kind of helps out with your, hopefully, potential team building for the May International Challenge coming up. I'm excited to see what our Discord users are using in that challenge. I'm sure a good chunk of them will hopefully be entering that event.
Oh yeah, I know when the announcement was made, there was a lot of people just, hey, how do we sign up? What do we do? How do we get in on this? I'm just like, cool, because I know there was a couple other people earlier in the week. They're like, hey, what's going on this weekend? Is there anything going on? Like, I don't know. I just report the stuff. I don't talk about it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of just like a look into team building, how we kind of build. It's probably kind of flawed compared to some people, and you're going to build teams differently than the person sitting next to you is going to, and the person sitting next to them is going to build differently than all 3 of you. But it's kind of fun to look at the whole process of team building and what to do from there. Anything else you want to talk about this week?
Honestly, man, I got a whole lot of nothing. I got Chinese food waiting for me to finish eating, so I am ready to get out of here for the week.
Okay, get us out of here then.
All right. As always, we have our wonderful Discord people where we get all of our Team of the Weeks from, where we share all kinds of information, and more importantly, where we can do all kinds of team building exercises and stuff like that in as well. That is always linked down in the show notes. Make sure you come and join our community. They're such fantastic people, man. They really do just make my day every day. And I genuinely mean it when I say that. Past that, we have our YouTube channel, which if you are listening on YouTube, thank you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like what you hear, make sure you hit that like button as well. Hit the bell for notifications when new videos go live. New podcasts go live every Monday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time because our fantastic editor is really good at what he does. Let's see. We have Twitter. Myself at Carter Noble 25. Carl is at musical_33. And the podcast can always be followed at LR Lessons as well. We have our Discord. We have YouTube. Carl and I are both on Twitch. You can follow me at Mr. Missouri 25. Carl at musical. Let's see. Email down in the show notes. Questions, comments, concerns can always be reached out to us that way as well. I think I'm out of things. I think I covered everything, even if they weren't in the normal order.
Yep, sounds about right.
All right, everybody. We'll be back next week, probably talking about some May International Challenge stuff, probably some more Team of the Weeks, and who knows what else. We'll figure it out next week. Have a good one. Peace.